You are now listening to the Rise Podcast, hosted by Mike Cavelli.
Welcome back to another episode of The Rise. Today I've got a very special guest, Amanda. What's your last name?
Monachelli.
Monachelli. Is that Italian?
Yeah.
Nice. So, she is a student at University of Delaware. She's 20 years old, doing awesome things as an entrepreneur. Started a brand for like breast cancer awareness type stuff, right? Can you explain exactly what the brand is and what you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So it's called EmpowHer, and it's all about empowering women and redesigning undergarments to better compensate for both natural and synthetic breast asymmetry.
And I love the name.
Thank you. Yeah, so natural asymmetry would be just if a woman has reconstruction and it's not, that's completely wrong, but if a woman has reconstruction and her breasts aren't the same size, she needs something to help fill it out and make sure that the undergarment fits herself properly, because undergarments don't fit whether you've had reconstruction or not.
Got you. And so like this is, I'm assuming, are there any other companies that does this or no?
No, so the mastectomy bra has never been redesigned, and they look like a spandex sports bra that you just have to pull over your head. And that's really outdated. If women are getting breast cancer at younger and younger ages, and they still need to go to work and dress professionally. You can't dress professionally if you don't feel professional. Mm-hmm. So you can't wear sports bras underneath your business professional attire.
And I bet that other bra that they had was probably super uncomfortable.
Absolutely,
or like not
yeah.
like fashionable at
No.
all.
It comes in like 3 colors, black, white, and maybe nude, and that's it.
Oh
yeah.
Wow, so they probably they just felt limited.
Exactly.
That's awesome though. So like you're creating a whole lane for this. It's the first of its kind.
Yep.
So like what is this like market share and everything?
Bras in general is a $12 billion opportunity. The mastectomy market is about $9 billion. So I'm hoping to get at least a little bit of piece of that and then expand into the natural and maybe breastfeeding mothers.
And I love that you know these numbers.
Thank you. It's a very intense summer. I have to know these numbers.
So she was part of Summer Founders, which is a very intense entrepreneur program at the University of Delaware. Before we go into more about your company and everything, can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Absolutely, yeah.
And what you learned from it?
Sure, yeah. So it's a 12-week pre-accelerator, and every Monday through Friday you're expected to be at the Venture Development Center unless you're out advancing your business model doing interviews. And so on every Tuesday we had what was called Be Nice to You Day, and that's where philanthropic advisors who are also serial entrepreneurs would come in, and we'd have 30-minute one-on-one sessions with them. And we'd tell them our business idea, and they would kind of walk us through what their thoughts were on it, and then just offer us connections and expertise. Mm-hmm. And then on Thursdays we had what was Not So Nice to You Day, and we had to pitch to the investors who were investing their time at this point in one of the rooms in the VDC, and we were just one-on-one with all these investors, and they would really critique us and our pitches. And then we'd have to spend the weekend revamping it to get ready for the following week. And
How scary was that?
It was so it was really terrifying the first week. And Vince likes to tell people that I almost quit the program because it was so intense and I didn't think I could do it, but I persevered. I got through it, saved the program. Thank you.
High five.
And so yeah, by the end of the 12 weeks, we had what was called Demo Day, and all the investors from the summer came back, and we had to do a 10-minute pitch to them. And then there was a showcase afterwards, and we just got to make really great connections and just showcase our work for the summer.
And you said how long was the program?
It was 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Yeah.
What did you feel like your progress was from week 1 to week 12?
It was exponential. I pivoted about 3 different times. There was a period of time when I was focusing on sports injuries and clothing for athletes, and then I came all the way back around to breast cancer. And I just think that was a common ground that I kept experiencing. The name changed, the brand changed, pretty much everything changed in the 12 weeks, and now I think I have a pretty solid pitch deck, which is great and helpful for the future.
That's awesome. So, well, if people don't know what a pitch deck is, what is a pitch deck?
Pitch deck, we did a 10-slide pitch deck, so it was just a presentation that you give to the investors and pretty much answer the primary questions that they would have. So who's your customer, what's the market like, competitors, how you stand out, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So.
What was like one of your favorite guests or like entrepreneurs that came through to talk to? Which one resonated or clicked with you the most, and why?
Okay, so Ben DuPont came, which was really cool, and he connected me to my current advisor.
And what does he do?
And so he works for DuPont, with DuPont, and his, I really don't know exactly what his role is, but he knew a woman who worked in their Lycra business and was able to connect me with her.
Okay.
Someone who I do know what they did is John Boyer, and he runs a family grocery store market in Pennsylvania, and he was able to connect me with a manufacturer who I'm working with right now to get a prototype working.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
What has that process been like to make a prototype?
Yeah, so very hard. Sewing undergarments is very different than regular sewing, and since I'm trying to create a design that hasn't been done yet, and I'm not an artist, it's really been hard to articulate the benefits and the features that I'm trying to convey into something that a manufacturer can take the image and then produce it.
So I'm assuming it's like something that like looks like it has cups, right?
Yes, yes. Yes, it looks like your standard undergarment, not a sports bra, but there's a few different designs we're thinking about right now, whether it's interchangeable cups or inserts or even gel or air pumps.
Okay.
We don't know, but I'm trying to articulate that to the manufacturer, but since he's about 2 hours away, it's really hard for me to hop on a call with him, and well, it's not hard to hop on a call, but it's hard to actually get to the
there.
facility again and see
Especially
the progress.
as a student.
As a student, yeah. Typical.
Your time is strict. What is your degree, by the way?
So I'm entrepreneurship with a minor in leadership.
Okay.
So nothing that has to do with fashion or healthcare, which is funny.
No, that's fine though. I mean, entrepreneurship is about finding a need and filling that need.
Yeah.
You know, so even though, I mean, your degree is entrepreneurship, so you're in the right field.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
You know, you're doing the right things and you're finding your passion in that because this is something that's close to you. So what you guys don't know, we discussed a little bit before this, she has a grandmother who, suffered from breast cancer and is having some of these same problems. So she decided to create a solution to the need.
Yep.
So can you tell them a little bit about, your whole background with that and why it's so close to you and important?
Sure. So about 10 years ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she didn't have chemo or radiation. She pretty much just received a single mastectomy, and right after that, it was my aunt's wedding, and we were all bridesmaids. And my grandmother couldn't find a dress that fit her because she didn't have reconstruction surgery. So in order to have a strapless dress, you need something to hold the dress up, and she just didn't have it. And she was still at the time where she was wearing the surgical bras, which are the sports bras. They have thick straps. You're not supposed to see them, but in this dress you would. She had to have the dress custom made with a prosthesis sewn in, and that's super expensive. And like I said earlier, she was 90 pounds, and she doesn't have a lot of need to wear an undergarment anyway.
So she have to do that for all her undergarments?
Exactly, because she
gosh.
didn't want reconstruction because it wasn't that big of a deal to her, but she still needed to fit into her clothes, and she's still working as a realtor. She needed to be presentable.
Yeah, look professional.
Exactly, and she couldn't get all of her clothes customized because it's super expensive, especially after cancer treatment. So decided that was an issue, and I needed to do something about it. So I took her as the inspiration and started to talk to other breast cancer survivors and figure out if it was a problem with everyone else, and it mostly is.
That's so dope. And I'm even more in shock and in awe that you're the first person to think about doing something like this.
I know.
You're a pioneer, yo. High five
Thank
to you. I want to see you get rich.
Me too.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
You're smart.
Thank you.
You're smart. So I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Investors out there, sign her.
Here I am.
But so you said you've been doing this for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
What skills did you take from summer founders that you learned and everything, and you're applying to this? Because building a whole brand is one thing, and building a whole company is another thing. But you're doing both at the same time.
Right.
And how's that process?
So it's been really difficult, but I started out with a solution, which you're not supposed to do. And I came on the first day and said, okay, here's the undergarment that I've designed, let's make it happen. Mm-hmm. And so it was really hard to detach myself from that undergarment that I had designed thinking it was the end solution. And so I think that just getting out of the building and talking to all these different problem holders or breast cancer survivors, as you could say, would really benefit me and them in the long run, because they're helping to create the solution with me. And I didn't really think of that as a process as I was just starting out. And through the summer, it's become a lot more natural for me to just talk to people and figure out what they want to see in an undergarment. And I'll just talk to random people on the street if I'm standing next to them.
How many people do you think you've talked to?
Oh, hundreds.
In the past year?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yeah.
Not thousands yet?
Not thousands, no. It's, if you don't know the person, they have a hard time opening up, since breast cancer is such an intimate problem that they've experienced, or such an intimate story close to their hearts.
Of course.
And so I can't just go up to someone and say, hey, you had breast cancer, do you want to tell me about that? And then just start writing things down. So it has to be a really natural conversation.
Yeah, that would be a little awkward.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
no,
So
I didn't.
Yep. So, yeah. I'm trying to bridge the gap.
So, all right, so then what skills did you learn from summer founders that you've used in building this?
So talking to people and not being afraid to just listen to them.
Do you think you were really shy before it?
I wasn't really shy. I have my moments. I say I'm an introverted extrovert, and I've gotten a lot. Yeah, so I've gotten a lot more comfortable standing up and being confident in what I'm doing, rather than
and who you are.
in who I am and the brand, pretty much in everything, because now I have validation that I'm working on something that could be something. And
it's important.
It's important, yeah. And before I might have just sat back a little bit and not been as confident in what I was doing, just because I didn't have that validation. So I guess just I learned to be more comfortable with what I'm doing, be confident in when I portray the vision, or else no one else is going to see it.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Good for you. Yeah. Good for you. I love your mindset.
Thank you. It's a learned mindset.
Yeah. What type of struggles have you been through personally that you've been able to grow into this person that you are today? Because a mindset like that doesn't just come from reading books or taking classes, or even like just building a business sometimes.
Right. That's an interesting question. I'm trying to figure out how to answer that. I don't know that it's necessarily struggles, but I'm a hands-on learner, and so I've always been the one to really put myself in a situation. And in group projects in school, I was always the one that said, I took charge, and I said, this is the plan, this is how we're going to do it. This past spring break, I went on a mindful trip, and we learned about professional and personal well-being, and how to really fix your mindset and figure out what you're passionate about and how to live a purposeful life and be intentional. And I think that really helped to clear my mind and figure out what I want. So rather than focusing on, okay, I need to go to school and get a degree and then sit in a 9-to-5 job, I've decided, okay, maybe that's what I'll wind up doing. So while I'm getting my degree, let me just figure out what I'm passionate about and then kind of go from there. I know that's not really answering your question, but
no,
I don't really know how else to answer it.
No, I like that answer. That's a good answer. Are your parents or like the people around you very much like you, or no?
They're not entrepreneurs, but I think that they have similar mindsets. My dad works in a corporate office. My mom works at home. I don't know. I was in a very motivated group in high school. We were all very competitive, and one person got the higher test score, then the other person would have to do something else to kind of jab them, but in the friendly kind of way. But I think that kind of helped to make me want to stand out among others.
And be,
yeah.
reach for more.
Right, be proud of what I've done.
At what point were you like, all right, let's try this entrepreneurship stuff?
Junior year of high school, I was in the Junior Achievement Company program, and a bunch of kids from different schools got together in a formed atmosphere, and we got to create a company. And so I did that my junior year. I was on the business leadership team, and that just meant I was creating an annual report and writing a business plan for this product that we created and actually sold in the course of, I think, 6 or 7 months. And then I did it again my senior year, and then I just fell in love with it.
How much did you sell it for?
So we were working on bracelets the first year, bracelets and keychain. We were hand stamping metal bracelets, and so I think we sold bracelets for $8 and keychains for $5, and then we always had a portion of the proceeds going back to charity. And then the other, and we didn't get paid from this, but
okay.
And then the following year we were called Sustain Mugs, and we hand dipped ceramic mugs with a tie-dye color or a tie-dye design, and each different color represented a different charity. And I think we sold those for $15. So it was like really random stuff, but it was just the process that I fell in love with.
The beginning of entrepreneurship.
Exactly. It's why I came to the University of Delaware.
For entrepreneurship?
For entrepreneurship, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I toured the Venture Development Center, fell in love with all the staff, and I decided there that I was going.
Yeah, the staff there is awesome.
I know. Love
And
it.
they're all so experienced, so nice.
Exactly.
Like,
they're humble, too.
Yeah.
You would never know that they
And
have so many successes.
Vince himself is like sold $1 billion company.
I
Like,
know.
like Vince is the man.
He is.
But yeah, everyone there, they're also helpful, like in so many different ways. It's amazing. And the building is so nice, just like you said. I love,
Yeah.
when I was there, I used to go there like late nights and like work until like 3-4 in the morning, just because like it was empty then.
Exactly. I get there
It was
at
so
4 in the
quiet.
morning, and I work in the morning.
See, great minds think alike.
Yeah.
But I was the night owl. You're the morning
Yep.
rooster. But that's awesome. So let me think of what else can we talk about. What's something that you want to share about your journey that you think it's important for other people to know?
So I spent most of this time working alone, and that was really hard because I was so into the vision and mission of what I was trying to convey that I had no idea what was a good idea, what was a bad idea. So I would say find someone else to help you, and find someone who's passionate about what you're trying to do, and bring them on, and don't be afraid to talk about it. When I was in high school and I had this idea for this undergarment, I didn't even tell my parents what the idea was because I was so afraid that someone was going to just take the idea and run with it. And I know that's complete
cliche
opposite.
idea.
Exactly. It's the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do. You need to talk to
like,
everyone.
Yeah, and literally like 90% of the people, if you tell them an idea, they're gonna be like, even if they're like, oh, I want to steal that idea, they'll just
Okay.
think about it, yeah, and they'll never do it because it's such a large process from having an idea to make it come to life.
Exactly.
That most people with ideas normally ever execute them.
Right.
But you have.
Trying.
And so, what are some of those people that you like? Did you have team members now that are working on this with you?
So I have one. So I'm in Vince's Startup Experience 2 class, which is just a continuation of, I guess, the progress we were making over the summer. And so I did the summer program working on it by myself, just talking to people about it. We had, I think there was 8 of us, or eight teams. There were 10 students in the cohort, and we were just bouncing ideas off of each other. And I just never formed a team because the idea was so close to me that I couldn't really share it with anyone else. I couldn't find someone who was that dedicated. But in Vince's Startup Experience class, you're almost required to have a team. It's encouraged to have a team. And so one of the students in the class also feels strongly about the cause. And so she's been working with me for the past couple of weeks. And the progress that I've made from the end of summer till now, just because I have someone else working with me, has been fantastic. We've been trying to find different breast cancer groups to get to. She's been having an easier time finding people to talk to because I've already bombarded my Facebook friends. She's starting to bombard her Facebook friends with posts asking for interviewees, and now we can combine them and work together, which
That's
is great.
dope. And it's great to have an extra pair of hands.
Yeah, exactly. Still looking for more.
So you are trying to look for more team members?
Absolutely.
Are you giving them like equity, or?
Well, I'm not generating revenue right now, so I'm formed as an LLC, but that's just so I can apply for grants and have that title almost.
Mhm.
But right now, we're still doing solution interviews with breast cancer survivors and just getting as much information as we can. And we're going to see if we can get some pre-orders with specific sizes. So it's not like a t-shirt where we can just print out small through XL t-shirts and when someone orders, say, okay, here you go. It's
Yeah, it's all like custom made.
almost custom made, at least in the beginning. So we need to get pre-orders and sizes, and then we can
Go
figure
from
out.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, how much would one of these like undergarments cost?
We're still figuring that out right now. We're thinking between $60 and $80 because standard undergarments are around $50 or $60. The higher end can go
Yeah,
upwards of
Victoria's
$350.
Secret is like expensive.
I know. It's true.
So when you're like 60 to 80, I'm like, all right, that's pretty reasonable.
It's pretty
for
reasonable.
a one of a kind type thing.
Right, and I'd also really like to, with the brand, grow a community of empowered women, and so I almost want to adopt the Tom shoe model, where if you buy a pair of shoes is donated. And so I really want to factor that into the cost and the price as well.
To do something like
exactly.
that. Tom shoes also cost like 10 cents to make.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's true. But it's a good mission.
It is a great mission. You just have to make sure it's feasible for you as well, too.
Exactly. And I'm not trying to break the bank either, because I know cancer is a horrific disease and it's so expensive. I don't want these women to want these undergarments but not be able to afford them because they spend so much on their treatments. I want it to be affordable.
Yeah, it has to be affordable price point.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be like, no, I'll just get all my stuff tailored.
Exactly. Yeah.
How much on average do you think it costs to get one of those undergarments tailored like your grandmother was having?
Oh, that was really expensive because that was a designer dress. I'd say regular alterations between $20 and $60.
Okay.
Which is about as much as an undergarment, honestly.
Okay. And so their main argument would probably be like, why should I get yours when I could just alter the other ones that I buy?
Almost.
And then what would you say to that, like time commitment wise? Like, well, I'm saving you the time and I'm giving you, everything that you need in a personalized fashion with a whole brand and a community behind you?
That, and I found that a lot of people, they don't want to have to alter their clothing. They just want to be able to buy it and you're fine. And just like I can go to the store and buy a sweater, I don't want to have that sweater altered. And it's just another step. You want to feel normal and you want to feel like you fit in. And if you have to constantly go and get your clothes changed because they're not made for you, that doesn't really convey that.
I never thought of that like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. I was just imagining myself like going to the store and then going to the tailor every time and being like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really short. I have to get petite pants and sometimes I have to get them altered.
I know the
and
feeling.
that whole process.
I'm short as shit too.
The whole process, it's not fun. You have to make a whole day out of it, and who has that kind of time?
Right? Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. That's cool. So, are you going for all age groups?
Yeah, so I think we have two different customer archetypes. The first one is the breast cancer survivor who's still a working age, and that would probably be, on average, 30 to 50. And then the retired breast cancer survivor, which would be around 60 plus. And they have different needs. They both want comfortable undergarments, but the working breast cancer survivor wants to feel feminine. They're younger, they still might be wearing more conservative clothes, and it needs to be more practical and functional. And they're okay talking about their battle scars and everything. And the older breast cancer survivor, who might be of a retired age, they just want something that they can wear that feels comfortable and it is concealed underneath their clothes.
And I like how you say the retired age. You don't give an age number and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. It changes. And it's becoming a trend now. If you're positive for the BRCA1 gene, which means you have a genetic breast cancer in your DNA, you can get a double mastectomy just because you might get breast cancer in the future. And that's really popular in the 20s and 30s in that age group. So it's all over.
I don't really know about any of these struggles. Like, can you explain why that stuff is a problem?
So BRCA1 gene is the breast cancer gene.
Okay.
And so if you have a genetic breast cancer, if you test positive for the genetic breast cancer, that means that there's a really high chance that you're going to get breast cancer when you get older, because it's just in your DNA.
And at what age can they test for that gene?
I'm pretty sure that they can test pretty much after puberty. So most females females of the bra-wearing age can get tested for it. A lot of women don't want to know, but if there's a lot of breast cancer in your family, some women are starting to get tested to see if they should get a mastectomy before it becomes a problem.
That's smart, though.
Yeah. Changes your life, but they're choosing to change it rather than having cancer, and cancer is the reason that you change.
Now, if you detect it from a young age and you get the surgery, like, do they still grow naturally or no?
No, so you could get reconstruction. It's becoming a little bit less common to do that because of all the synthetic materials and chemicals that go into a reconstruction surgery.
Okay.
There's another surgery where they used to take they still do, but your stomach fat, and they turn that into your breast. And that way it's still you, and it still feels part of you, whereas a regular reconstruction would feel external to you. And I've heard of stories, a lot of women who do get reconstruction of the synthetic materials wind up having it taken off a few years later because it just feels like an external part of them. Yeah.
That's crazy. To have something to feel like it's just attached to you.
Exactly.
That'd be weird. How do you think it affects some of these women, like, mentally?
I think it depends on your initial mindset going in. So if you feel as though you're being attacked by this and there's nothing you can do about it, I'm sure it's a very negative feeling, and they feel hopeless and there's nothing they can do, and these are the women that they don't really want to talk about their breast cancer. Whereas the woman who is a warrior, she's the one who fights, and she says, yeah, this happened to me, but look what I overcame. And I think that there's two totally different sides to that, especially the younger generation. They want to feel empowered, and they want to feel as though they're strong, and beating breast cancer is a really strong thing to do.
I agree. So how does your community make them feel strong and empowered?
So
how are you going to empower?
It makes the women feel connected to others by something else other than a breast cancer support group. So they still have a commonality by purchasing these undergarments and needing an undergarment that fits a little bit different, but it's not a mastectomy bra. It's an asymmetry brand that's for any woman who experiences any type of natural or synthetic breast asymmetry. So they can feel normal because it is normal to have asymmetry. Whereas it's not, quote unquote, normal to have a breast cancer surgery, but it is normal to have your breasts asymmetrical. And if you think about it as an asymmetry bra rather than as a mastectomy bra, you're on an even playing field, and you feel empowered because why wouldn't you?
Damn right. You feel empowered because why not? When you're a part of a movement like that, you better feel empowered. I love it. That's that confidence.
Yeah, you're right.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
And so you have like a whole Instagram page for it and everything now? Facebook page?
I haven't been as active on it as I should. I actually, for the month of October, I made an Instagram plan, and it starts yesterday, so tomorrow it should start. But I have some posts scheduled that I'll have to do. Like I said, working by myself all summer, I was so into Instagram for a week, and then I realized, okay, I need to be focused on my business model.
Yeah.
Same thing with a website, same thing with a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you kind of backtrack, and then you're like, but wait, I still need to give this time.
Exactly.
And then you're like, but wait, I need to finish this first, and then it's just a race in your own mind of like, what should I get done first, or what needs to be done.
Exactly.
How can I just get it all done yesterday?
Yep, exactly. I have a little bit of everything done,
Yeah.
but nothing completely done. So I
One
need
thing
more
at a
people.
time.
One thing at a time, you're right.
One thing at a time. That's the biggest thing that I've learned as an entrepreneur is literally just one thing at a time, one step at a time, like one foot in front of the other. Like, because I swear I have those same problems, and I'm always all over the place trying to do things, and I have a little bit done of everything,
Yep.
but nothing ever gets fully complete, and then it's just like, I think it just messes you up more mentally.
Right.
It creates more clutter.
We gotta get rid of the clutter.
Definitely. So, when do you think your product will be like on the market?
So the prototype has been being worked on for about 2 months now. So I'm hoping by December-ish we'll have some pre-orders, and then Hen Hatch rolls around, which is the University of Delaware pitch competition, like a baby version of Shark Tank, and so hopefully that'll be in the spring. I think that's around April.
So you said by when you're gonna have actual photos and
around summertime.
okay.
Yeah.
And then continue from
And
there.
then continue. Yeah. So it's a process,
Okay.
but it's being worked on.
Okay, cool. So are you gonna start running like ads and everything to like get hype?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as soon as we have a prototype made, that's when I'll start with the ads, because I don't know what I'm advertising yet, since we still have a few different designs that could work,
Mhm.
but neither of them are actual solutions yet.
You should start just gaining hype on, like, create a Facebook page, a Facebook group of people that have interest in something like this.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where you can already have a group of women that are already behind it. So when you launch it, or when you have an official date of like, this is when the prototype is coming out, ladies, and they're like, oh my God, I can't wait. Then they start telling all their friends and, you know, all the people that they know that have it. You know, you gotta build the hype.
Yeah, you're right.
You feel me? You can't just drop it one day and be like, hey guys, come and buy it. It's here.
Yeah, you're right. I'll get on that.
Yeah, so you should definitely do that, because that'll probably help you sell out.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because my Instagram techniques aren't up to par yet.
I mean, I'm talking about that on a Facebook page.
Yeah.
You can do that on a Facebook page, and that'll be perfect, because or a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot of marketing stuff with Facebook groups now.
Okay.
Also, make sure you have a LinkedIn for it.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's on my LinkedIn.
Create a separate one. You could also do it on your own LinkedIn, but LinkedIn ads are super powerful right now.
Okay.
I don't know what your budget is and everything like that. Maybe you can get a different budget from investors, or maybe through Henhatch, or something like that. I don't know, but you know, definitely try to look into something like that. Google AdWords, of course. Right. Instagram is like hit or miss now, because the engagement is so low.
Right.
So like, it's not the best thing to market on. Yeah, so I would say Facebook groups, because your age group is like perfect for Facebook.
Yeah.
The people that you're trying to target.
Exactly.
Are you doing anything like specialized for them with like different bra styles or like different patterns and designs?
So I'm trying to stand out from the other undergarments. So I do, like I said earlier, I don't want just 3 colors. That's a really big thing that these women want. And eventually I'm hoping to have like an inspirational quote that comes with it to also foster the community, where a woman buys an undergarment and she gets an inspiring message or something along with it it's pretty. It makes it, like right now, subscription boxes are super in. And as soon as you open the box and you see everything that's in it, you get inspired. Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping to create a feeling of happiness when she gets it. It's an experience, yes. It's a good way of saying that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. That you're selling an experience.
Right.
The whole thing, from looking at your website to getting an email with the, hey, I'm gonna empower you, you know, like the whole thing, to then getting the package and opening it up, and it's that lavender, beautiful lavender color with a white backdrop, and then that lavender smell hits you, maybe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I just experienced it.
Right? And then, like, so you could do, I mean, that's what it's all about, because when you open those subscription boxes, because, yeah, they're incredibly, like, popping right now.
Yeah.
You know, people are making so, like, those groups that are doing it, companies that are doing it are killing it. Yeah. You know, and I know people personally that do it with different stuff, and, yeah, you could do a lot with that. You know, and you just want the customer to feel like, wow, like, damn, this is like, this is dope.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you shop at King of Prussia a lot, so you ever bought something from like the Gucci store or Louis Vuitton or something like that, you know, and like you get that nice fancy box. Right. With the nice wrapping, and then they wrap it in the box and everything right in front of you when you buy it, and some things you have to sign a waiver to buy. And, like, it's a whole experience, and then, like, from them, like, giving you champagne and everything when you walk in and you're sitting down waiting to buy something, like, you know, that whole thing, you have to create that for your customer, even though you don't have the storefront yet, you have to give that to them in that box.
You're right. That's exactly what I'm trying to convey.
That, I can't wait to see it.
Me neither.
But, shit, what else?
What about you? Do you have any advice for someone in my position?
For someone in your position?
Trying to start?
I would say, because I don't know too much about dealing with like a brand like yours. Mm-hmm. I know some of the marketing techniques, like I said, like make sure you get on Facebook and LinkedIn and everything like that. Make sure you build an email list. But I would say just network what you're doing. You know, you found the other person to work with, try to find more. And the more you get into these networks, tell everyone, just like you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, the more you get the word out, the better. The more awareness that, you know, is there. And I think that you're going to be successful regardless because you have the heart for it, you have the drive for it, you're smart, very intelligent, very, very well spoken. You know, it's just about getting the product out there. You can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, it doesn't mean anything.
That's true.
You know, and people sell the shittiest products in the world all the time just because they have brand awareness. You know, like this phone costs $50 to make, but they sell it for $1,000.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You know, so I would say best advice is just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
You know, constantly seek all the resources possible, which you are doing. Definitely take advantage of the VDC and everyone there because they're always going to guide you in the right path. And yeah, just keep on chugging.
Well, thank
because
you.
I really want to see this, you know, the product, and I want to see like the whole experience. You know, and like I said from the beginning, I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
Because it's dope to see someone your age doing something as amazing as this.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see your rise. But thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very much for coming on.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I hope you enjoyed it.
Did.